After her oldest son Jace, 14, was taken from their house, teen mom Jenelle Evans and her partner David Eason tried to avoid being seen as they appeared in court for a meeting with Child Protective Services. The turbulent couple from Teen Mom 2 entered a North Carolina courtroom on Tuesday, trying their best to stay out of sight, as seen in pictures that were exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun. The two were in court to answer to a judge who had ordered Jenelle's son Jace to be removed from her house due to claims that David had abused him. It is unexpected that David is at the hearing because he was kicked out of a prior CPS meeting because he was not permitted to speak with a teenager. But since Jace wasn't present this time, David was probably permitted to participate in the hearing. According to a source, it makes sense for David to attend the proceedings even though Jace isn't physically present because, in the end, the case is against David and his home. Barbara, Jenelle's mother, arrived approximately 15 minutes prior to the 2 p.m. hearing on Tuesday. During Tuesday's court session, no substantial progress towards a custody arrangement was made, according to an insider. A CPS special hearing is still scheduled for December 4. The purpose of that session was to determine Jace's ultimate custody. However, the decision is now being postponed. Barbara was the first person to leave the courtroom following the session. She was the first person in the court, so when she saw David and Jenelle's car parked directly next to hers in the middle of an otherwise empty row, she looked surprised. Following his departure from Jenelle at the courthouse, David maneuvered their SUV around back and parked it just next his mother-in-law. He was straddling 2 parking spaces with his car. Barbara left the hearing without any problems. Jenelle and David stayed in the courtroom for an additional 45 minutes. Subsequently, it came to light that they were completing documents in order to hire David's lawyer for his criminal case of child abuse resulting from the alleged assault. A U.S. Sun reporter attended in court during that Wednesday's hearing, while Gore law attorney William Gore represented David, who did not show up for the hearing. William informed Justice Brian Wilson that Tara Gore, an attorney, would be David's representative in the child abuse case. However, Tara is presently on maternity leave and won't return until after January 1. According to an insider, it's no accident that David selected Tara, a recent mother, to represent him in the child abuse case against him rather than William, who showed up in court on Tuesday. David's criminal child abuse case was given a postponement until January 18. On September 28, David, 35, was charged with beating Jace in front of a neighbor's house in North Carolina. Jace is said to have been attacked by the Teen Mom 2 alum before making a third escape. According to court records first made public by the U.S. Sun, David willingly harmed his stepson by leaving marks on his arm and neck. According to the court filing, the defendant, being the parent of Jace V. Evans, who was a minor, under the age of 16, did so unlawfully and voluntarily inflict physical harm on that child. The physical injury was not the result of chance. It left marks on their right arm and on both the left and right sides of their neck. Jace was placed under the care of Child Protective Services following the purported event. After that, the adolescent was given to his grandmother Barbara's care. However, in mid-November, authorities learned that Jace had absconded from his grandmother's house for around 2 days. The last incident landed him in the hospital. After the claimed attack on Jace, Child Protective Services reportedly questioned Marisa, 16, who is David's daughter. This information was originally disclosed by the U.S. Sun. Marisa has spoken to CPS by now, and it was supposed to be with Jenelle and David's lawyer present, a source had stated. Insiders claim that Jenelle has spoken to CPS at least once about her daughter Inslee, who she has with David, and her son Kaiser, whom she shares with her ex Nathan Griffith. Jace hasn't spoken to Jenelle since David's purported attack, a source informed the U.S. Sun. Jace has not spoken to Jenelle since the incident, and Jenelle hasn't reached out to try to talk to him, either, a source said. A judge decided last month that Jenelle, 31, cannot see or talk to the teenager until he makes the first move to make contact. Meanwhile, sources claim that David has been barred from all communication with Jace.